I've already tried this once, but then they managed to fuck with the sound. Just turned the sound off. They let me speak for about 2 minutes and then the sound just quit, you know. Usual fucking bullshit. I think because the camera's facing my face now, and it would show, you know, I would be able to show my hands that I'm not actually touching the screen. It's kind of, I mean, they wouldn't really want to be touching the screen, would they? Round about now, you know, to show that they're fucking with my phone in that way. So they're just messing with the sound now, remotely able to turn the sound off. So I'm going to try again. I'm going to kind of talk louder, but I don't think it makes a difference. It was really, I listened to it back, or tried to anyway, and the first 2 minutes were fine. They were absolutely clear, and then they just cut the sound so that I could kind of understand what I was saying, but only because I was the person who had just spoken. But it wouldn't show up, and no one's going to want to sit there through subtitles, even if YouTube would have allowed subtitles onto it. So this is our little fun and games, you know. We'll just fuck with the sound instead remotely. We'll just silence her like that, and that's kind of what they started doing before. And then I managed to kind of go around it. I changed all the settings in my phone. I restored factory settings. I put on Do Not Disturb, so thinking that they couldn't mess with the sound like that, and then they just started deleting videos, you know, or corrupting them, letting them run halfway through and then fucking deleting the rest. It's just nonsense, you know, the efforts that they'll go to, the fucking lengths that these fucking pedos will go to just to not let someone speak. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Anyway, I've never came this way before, so I kind of came this way in the hope that they won't be able to really be following me in this direction, but as we all know, that is not the case. That is not reality. So I just wanted to talk about last night. You know, yesterday obviously I made a couple of videos. Some fucking fannies up here. Yesterday I made a couple of videos and I managed to upload them, you know, for the first time in a couple of months, and obviously showing my face. You know, they don't like that either. They want to sell you as a certain type of person. They want to go with a narrative of you being a certain way, a certain person. And if you're showing your face, you know, and the people in the surrounding community know who it is that they're participating in torturing, and might actually, you know, some of them not dismiss them all totally as being fucking brain dead. Some of them might actually want to listen to what it is that you have to say, might kind of take some notice. So, you know, the powers that be, the people that control it, don't want that happening. Yeah. Just as people stood up here, you know, desperately trying to fucking put me off, or just to make me feel a certain way, or to stop me talking, you know. It's just same shit, different day, basically. So yeah, last night, because I managed to make a couple of videos and upload them, I'll show you. So they're not letting me zoom in using my phone now, using the volume functions. So yeah, so they're obviously really angry with that, you know. You're to let us torture you, as we have been doing for the whole of your life, and you're not going to say anything about it, or you're not going to complain about it, you know. You're just to let us get on with it and use our little network of wankers to take part in torturing you. And you're not going to say or do a damn thing about it, or we're going to come after you. Or we're going to do things to kind of destroy your life, you know. So that's what happened last night. So they had the paramedics there last night. Just want to go past this. It's just, I don't want to say nonsense, but you already know, don't you? You already know set up nonsense, set up fucking bullshit. I'm not very good at this angle thing, am I? I'll try the other way. Just in the middle of the fucking woods. No. Anyway, so they had the paramedics there in the house last night, and you know, 2 o'clock this morning. And I've spoke about it before, I've done a short on a guy I went to school with called Ronnie Dugan. So they use his name a lot as a threat because he got shot. He got shot and he died. So they use that as a threat that I'm going to get shot, you know, they'll just use his name. So it's like an indirect threat. They're not actually threatening me. They're just kind of saying a word. And I showed it, and I mean, if you care to look at that video about the mail that I got with his name in it and the name of someone else I went to school with who killed herself. So, you know, that's the way these cowards use to threaten you, is by doing it indirectly, because they're pussies basically. They're not going to come out to you and say, we're going to shoot you. No, we're going to shoot you. So when the paramedics were there at 2 o'clock this morning, and one of the helpful retards in that house made sure to let the paramedic know that the patient, you know, that they were there for on some kind of medical emergency, has low iron levels. Now Ronnie, iron, you know, they use the what's the word, the anagram of his name all over the place. So they'll use like Norway or Norfolk or Rhonda or Norrie or iron. Iron gets used quite a lot. So, you know, I'm not a medical professional, but I don't believe that low iron is something that you would call out, you know, the paramedics for at 2 in the morning. But what do I know? What do I know? And then after this little bit of information, just coincidence that it happened the night that I managed to make a video and showed my face. Just absolute coincidence that this all happened last night. You know, nothing to see here, keep it moving. So the paramedic, instead of, you know, he took a phone call. It was probably that fucking cunt with the mullet that gang stalked me in Morrison's last week or the week before, whenever it was. Probably that fucking smelly looking bastard. So he stood at the bottom of the stairs to my room, so he didn't stand in the patient's room and make his phone call, didn't stand outside the patient's room, didn't go outside. You know, at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're not disturbing the rest of the people in this house, but stood directly outside my room to have his really loud conversation on his phone. At the conversation, the parts of it that he made sure I overheard were him saying, if she continues to not comply, we'll just get the police to forcibly remove her. This is part of the conversation. You're getting it, aren't you? You know where this is going, don't you? You know that this is just nonsense all designed for me, don't you? You know, I'm preaching to the fucking educated here. That was part of the bit of loudness that he wanted me to overhear at 2 o'clock this morning. And the next bit was, oh, she has the ability to walk, but she just refuses to. Again, just with their little subliminal threats, you know, they don't want to actually threaten you, the police or the paramedics, you know, the NHS who participate in gang stalking. They just want me to shut the fuck up and piss off, basically. You know, they don't want me to share about how the NHS has participated in my targeting for pretty much my whole life. For, you know, the NHS, the 2 paramedics that came into my house the night that the police were in my house when they tried to cuckoo me out my house, that the paramedics that came that night injected me with something, I presume the vaccine, you know, I just presume that, because what else would it possibly be, you know. They don't want me to talk about the fact that I woke up one morning in around 2016, I believe it was, with my eye, I think it was my left eye, and my daughter was there at the time, you know, 2015, 2016, because we laughed about it, we joked about it. And then I woke up and my eye was just streaming water, you know, just constantly streaming tears. It wouldn't stop. It was like someone had turned the tap on behind my eye. There was no pain or anything, but it was just a constant, I had to hold a tissue under my face and it was kind of soaked within minutes. And we were both laughing at it, like, what the fuck, you know, what is happening, what's caused that? But I believe that night before that they drugged me, and probably drugged her as well to make sure that she didn't hear anything, and done something to my eye, inserted something in my eye that night. And I believe, I mean, we don't have any contact, unfortunately, me and my daughter, but you know, if she's ever watching this, she'll be able to confirm that is factual, you know, that did happen. I also had a mole removed off my backside, and I believe it was, I think it was around the same time actually, it was about 2016, 2017, that they said that the mole that they removed from my bum was had cancerous cells, and they had to go back in and take more tissue from around it. And I believe that they've put something, implanted something into me at that time. I believe that. I mean, you call it paranoia if you want, I don't really give a fuck, you know. I think the medical, the people, the NHS and that are well involved in gang stalking. I think they are. I don't want to go into, my mum's condition with MS and things, but there's a lot of things about it that don't kind of sit right with me, and I think that a lot of these medical things can be induced, and that's all I'm going to kind of say on the subject. So yeah, last night was fun, so that was my punishment. That's my punishment for daring to talk, daring to speak. I don't know where I'm going, left or right, do you reckon? Right? It's a labyrinth thing, isn't it? You always turn right, is it? Or you always turn left, I don't know. See, I'd be fucked. I'd be fucked. David Bowie would be stealing my child. Doesn't have to, people have already stole my children. Don't need David Bowie to do it. Yeah, so that's my punishment. And then even after the fucking wankers had left with their, seriously ill patient with its fucking low iron, the other fuckwits that they've placed me around continued to scream and shout and bang and the usual, just little letting you know, but they're cowards, always cowards, these people. Everything they do is cowardly. Everything they operate as cowards. That's why they come into my room when I'm not there and they do their cowardly shit, Today's t-shirt is says gang stalking, the police hire lowlifes to bully people. Not very inventive, you see, on my top. See where they've cut it with a pair of scissors? It's just a number of small things, It's just constant small little things. It's like death by 1,000 fucking paper cuts. I went to get a top out of this t-shirt out of the drawer this morning, and I had a pack of batteries in my drawer with 4 batteries in it, and there's one missing, Just things like that. Just coming in and spraying Ralgex all over my clothes, or pouring sticky shit on my floor, or destroying, putting holes in my clothes and my shoes, or animal piss seeming to end up on my bed, or hairs that certainly don't belong to me. I don't have long dark hair and I don't have long blonde hair, but these hairs always seem to appear in my room. It's just to let me know, that we're coming in and we're doing this, and there's basically fuck all you can do about it. So, but they're kind of cowards. They wouldn't actually face up to anything or be true or truthful about anything, because they're pussies, Anyway, enough about these fucking pussy wankers. I'm going to carry on my walk and then maybe try and get some sleep. I doubt it, as well as the fucking messing about with the heroes without capes from the NHS last night. Heroes without capes, let's all clap our hands for them. Angels without wings. Fucking hell. Sorry, I can't help but be a smarmy bastard when I talk about the fucking knobheads. As well as them, there was the heat and the vibration, the pulsing, boom, 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 pulsing directly at my head and at my hip. They're targeting my hip, obviously because I enjoy walking and I walk quite a lot, so they're directing pain towards certain parts of my